All right, hello everybody. Welcome to episode number 30 of the FOOTY podcast. A little bit later than usual by 10 minutes. But we're here. Kevin has joined us for a little bit,
What's up, everybody?
and Sam.
Hola, amigos.
All right. Deep breath. All right. So we're going to start with Porto, obviously, because soon. So Porto played Passos away. 0-0, Casillas was in goal, Maxi, Felipe, Marcano, Alex Telles across the back, Ruben Neves coming in for Danilo, Corona, Torres, Herrera, and Jota, and then Andres Silva up top. What did you think of the first half? Because that's what you managed to watch.
Yeah, the second half, my DVR crashed, so I didn't get to watch the second half. But from what I saw in the first half, there were two penalties, in my opinion, one for each side. There was the one with Alex Telles with the handball in the box. That was a clear penalty. I don't know why it wasn't called, to be honest. I mean, you can't get any clearer and blatant than that. Then in the other side, there was a player from Passos Ferreira, which, in my opinion, was a handball also, but it hasn't really been talked about. I don't know why. Maybe people think that it really wasn't a handball, but whatever. For the team's performance, I mean, it was okay. It was all right. It was nothing spectacular. And I knew that it was a possibility we'd drop points because I mentioned that last week, especially without Danilo. We had our chances in the first half. We didn't
I
capitalize.
don't think you're playing with much um,
Zest.
pace. Like, yeah, like you're not really going into the kill for the kill, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was a bit slowed down. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were kind of like
Mm-hmm.
slow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were like not in it. I guess. I don't know. It's tough to say, but I mean,
They look a
Benfica.
bit off. Sorry.
Huh?
I just said that they look a little bit off. After that Benfica game, I haven't really seen them play to win. You know what I mean? Like really going at someone.
Maybe because they knew that they were 7 points behind, but maybe they must have forgot they had to have an extra game played. I don't know what the mentality was, what the game plan was. They had their chances. Andres Silva should have buried that. He was wide open. Um, there was a couple of other chances. I mean, the goalie from Pastrana did save some of them.
Yeah,
Uh, to
but
his
that's what you
credit,
expect. That's what you expect from a goalkeeper, though. Nothing
it's
really
every game.
easy.
It happens
Yeah.
to us every game where the goalies play out of their minds, and then when they play Benfica, they forget how to play.
Right. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, Kevin. I gotta ask you something because
Hmm.
I was watching the game. Um, and that was the first thing that I commented when I saw something happen to my dad. I was like, I need to talk about this on the pod because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that Dupuatre started like all three Taça de Liga games, right? And then
Hmm.
the first option coming off the bench during the weekend was Rui Pedro.
Well, I did touch upon this last time where I said that Rui Pedro should have started over the Potter in the Taça de Liga match, which was very disappointing. Again, it was very tough to watch because they were in good form after the Braga game, and then you can tell they were starting to pick it up a bit. And it seems like after the Christmas break, they started to dip in form again, back to what it's been previously to the Braga game. And seeing the 0-0 against Pash Freire, I'm kind of worried that they're gonna go back to the way they were. We're having a hard time scoring. Um, I was talking to one of my friends who's a Benfiquista, and I think he's right.
Mm-hmm.
He says that maybe there's a hex on Porto and they need to go see a witch, reverse it. I mean, there's no other explanation for it. I starting to believe he's right, but they just had like such bad luck and calls going against them, and they had calls in their favor too. Not many, but they have had calls against them not called, like the handball with Telj against Pastrana on Saturday. So You know, it was a bit disappointing to see. Well, very disappointing to come out with a 0-0 draw when they had their chances, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the ref, obviously.
Hmm.
I think he did an okay job, but I mean, they could have been much better.
Yeah, I feel like Porto's problems just you don't really have a striker, and you were talking about like that 60 million deal. I'm not gonna like speculate if it's true or not, but
It's not.
if it was, I would have said like yeah, because with that
Hmm.
money, I wouldn't even like think about um the depth. I would go straight and get three strikers, two proven strikers plus another one for backup, and get rid of everybody else. The Poitre and Andre Silva, because I know that Andre Silva is a huge prospect, but maybe you need someone proven, and with that amount of money, you wouldn't say no to that, and bring on like three strikers, and maybe the team would start playing better because it's something that you see with Benfica. And one guy tweeted was that something like Porto can complain about the refs, but it doesn't explain everything. And then he goes Jonas, Mitroglou, Raul, André Silva do Poitre, and Rui
Jota
Pedro
and Jota
or
too.
Jota as well. So you know, you see the difference there in the striker ability.
Yeah, but Jota's a great player. I thought he played very well against Ponte Preta from what I saw in the first half. He had a couple of chances, he just couldn't put it away. But you know, I think that, and I've said this before, I think that we should negotiate the price to him from Atletico. I don't know what they're willing to let him
Uh,
go for.
Kevin,
He's not
Kevin,
on the
sorry
World
to
Cup.
cut you off. Yeah, you're getting muffled.
I am
Yeah,
still.
That's
nah,
better.
nah, you're okay now.
I think that was my thumb kind of like blocking my mic. Okay, let me go back to say what I was saying. The joys of being live. Uh, I think that from what I saw in the first half with Jota, I think he played very well. He had his chances, he just couldn't put it away. I think that with Atletico, we need to try to negotiate a price for him because there's no way we're going to be able to afford him for the 20 million, I believe it was.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
there's just no way. I mean, he's a really good player, but what I would really like to see, like if we can sell somebody, I don't know what's going to happen because they didn't complete whatever the UEFA Fair Play rules are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if we had to, like, there was one player on my wish list that I wish that we could buy, and he's Mexican, Irving Lozano.
Oh my
Um,
god, no. I saw interest from Man U, so like last year,
it's
so I'm
been
not
though,
sure
yeah. Last year they were interested, and they
what's
said that
gonna
we were
happen.
too. But I don't know. I mean, they're gonna be knocking on his door because Pachuca can cash in on him because he had a hat trick in the opener for the Liga MX over the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and they played at Camp Nou. So obviously it was sold out too. I believe it was sold out. So obviously there were a lot of scouts there, and to see him, he's speedy, and to see him score 3 goals in an opening match for the Clausura, it's just insane, and he's gonna get snatched up pretty quick. I don't think we can afford him in the first place anyway, not now, because they're gonna be asking way too much.
Yeah.
Um, but there was one
Did,
thing that I was just thinking about. I'm sorry, go ahead before
I was
I
gonna
forget.
say, if did you see the Adrian Lopez thing where like a club was offering like 1.5 million to take him?
Yeah, that's too low. No, no way.
You won't take that. At this
No,
point, I just say cut your
I would.
losses.
I would
Yeah,
take that.
I agree.
I don't think so.
Cut your lo- cut your
Nothing less than
losses, man.
three.
Cut your losses, man. You'll
Yeah,
save
but we're
on
not gonna
you'll be
be.
saving on wages, and he's never gonna give you profit. Never. It costs you 11
I
million, so you're gonna lose money anyway.
I think nothing less than three. Maybe we can work out a deal for three. That's a really low bid. We can work on something. Maybe 2.5 to 3. I would be content with. But what I was gonna say, and I was thinking about this the other day by myself, and like what's been going on with the club, and
Yeah.
ever since they got rid of the third party ownership, that's when things started to go downhill. we used to be able to buy like young Brazilian prospects, and we would develop them. They'd be great players, and we would be able to sell them for a huge amount. Um, I don't know if they changed anybody from the scouting or what's going on, but we were able to like keep an eye on a certain player, bring him in, and they were what they expected. Like James Rodriguez, for an example. Hulk was a nobody, but he scored a bunch of goals in the Japanese league with Tokyo Verde. So um, I don't
You're
know where they went wrong.
you're getting you're getting a little bit desperate with your moves. I think that's it. I don't think it's like the scouting or anything. It's just getting
Yeah, but I'm
desperate.
saying like it's like so ever since the third party ownership, like since that was banned, like that's when things started to like really go downhill. And it's like they don't know what to do. They're signing players with not even being exactly sure. Like the Patra for like 6 million, was it?
7.
7 million. Thanks, Peter, for making it even better. But I'm
Exactly.
saying like why? Like I've never even heard of him. For that much money they could have went and got
And
maybe
then
they could have yeah. There's a Brazilian striker. I forgot what
uh,
team he plays for. I think it's
Andre.
Flamengo if I'm not mistaken. Luan, the Brazilian striker. Like we could have took that's
I know, but it's not Flamingo. But yeah, go on. I know the guy. I know the guy.
all right, but you know what I'm talking about. I forgot what team he plays for. I have to look that up in a second.
I think it's a
Um,
team in blue. But go
is
on,
it
go on.
Cruzeiro maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, um, like for somebody like that, like they could have used 7 million towards a player like that. Like where do they even get this guy from? Like the Belgian. Oh, it's actually Grêmio, the Porto Alegre,
Damn, I was gonna say again, but I was like, is it? There you go, though.
and he's only 23.
Yeah,
So and
he's young.
and I've seen a little bit of the Brazilian league, and I thought he's a great striker. For Grêmio, he has 113 appearances and 53 goals. So for a
Different
player like
league,
that,
but
yeah, I
definitely
get that
impressive numbers. Better than the
exactly,
Plotters.
exactly. And I know it's a different league, but Anderson, he came from Grêmio, and we got him obviously probably because of third party ownership with the oh, I think it might have been what's his name, Menge. So he might have been a part of that. But after Menge, we had Doyen, who were involved in a lot of the deals. And I think that's the way we went wrong. A lot of shady business going on, and now it's all starting to come to a head. And I think that Porto fans have had enough. I know they're starting to turn on what's his name, Madureira from Super Dragões, and they've been vandalizing. Somebody they vandalized Adelino
The Costa
Caldeira's
Show, son's house or
restaurant or
whatever, a
something like that.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a restaurant.
Adelino Caldeira's law firm. So I think that the fans have had enough, and it's their own fault though, because it's not like this is something like, oh my god, this is happening now. They knew what Peter DeCosta's son has been up to, and they
Yeah,
voted him back in. If you wanted to change, you should have done it when you had the chance. You know what I mean? Like, don't complain
yeah,
now. You all voted for him.
yeah, exactly. They're complaining when they could have made a change and they didn't do it. They could have tried something when the off season when the transfer window was open and they didn't, and now they're waiting 6 months to start complaining.
Yeah. So, and it's mandatory. I believe 4 years. Is it? I believe it's four
No, I
years.
think he can resign if he wants to.
Yeah, if he resigns, but um, like I'm saying, like I don't think we could just kick him out because we don't like him. I mean, I don't know what the rules are. He's not the president of a country, but I'm saying like I don't know what the rules and stipulations are to get rid of him. But I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Pinto da Costa because for the past like 30 odd years, like
I
he
think that's
helped make
something you
this team what it
can
is.
and you need to do though.
I know, and
It's
like I
time
said,
where you need to say like, thank you for everything you've done, but you're past now. Basically, I think it needs to be done though.
I was just about to say that. And
Okay.
like I thank him for everything he did for the club, but it's just his time to go. You know what I mean? Like things are not getting better, and I'm surprised that he got voted back in. I don't know who else ran. I think was it Vitor Bahia who ran against him.
I
Pretty
don't know.
sure.
No, he ran unopposed, but Vitor Villa doesn't like him.
All right, but Vitor Bahia wanted to go against him, but he never
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But like, if they didn't vote him, and obviously he only needed like one vote, he would have voted for himself. But like, if they want change, like they could have had like a fan. A fan could run. Obviously, they're not. Nobody's going to vote for just a regular fan to run the affairs of the club.
Would you take the? God, I was gonna say his name, but I forgot now. The guys at Seek. Oh my God. Let
Sit
me
on the
check out.
bench.
No, it's like Vitor Oliveira, is it? No, what's the fucking guy's name? Keep talking. I'll figure it out.
All right, so oh God, I kind of lost my train of thought. But it's like
You were talking about someone trying to go up against Peter Costa.
yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, are they
No, it's
scared to
not.
go up against against him because they think that maybe they're gonna lose? But you're never gonna get change unless you try to force change. You know what I mean? And it's
Uh-huh.
nothing against Pinto da Costa because he's probably not doing anything wrong, but it's his son. His son is the issue. People have left, like Ronaldo Telj. Was it Ronaldo Telj? Or was
Who?
it Enter Henrique? Sorry. Enter
Yeah, I was like,
Henrique.
what? I was like,
No,
what?
not Ronaldo Telj, I'm sorry. Enter Henrique. I remember now because Portugal was playing at the same time that he left. Um, and he was with the club for a really long time. And rumor has it that he made that 2011 or 2012 squad with Hulk and James and João Moutinho. That was his doing. So I wouldn't mind him if he decided to run for president. I really wouldn't. Him or Vitor Bahia.
He wanted to uh he wanted like Marco Silva for like the past 3 years, and Peter Costa basically just said no. It got to a point where they just couldn't coexist, basically.
Yeah, and Mark Silva is a very good coach. We'll see what he can do with Hull. Which, by the way, I don't even know what the score was. Sam, do you know what the score was yesterday for?
2-0, they lost 2-0, if that's what you're.
All right. So they lost 2-0. It was his first game, but um, I think that Mark Silva is a very good coach,
There we go.
and I
Yeah,
wouldn't have. Well, you found it.
I found
They
it.
played like a reserve team. They didn't have enough players to fill out the whole squad. They had to play like reserve players on the bench.
Mm.
It's the guy I was talking about, Antonio Oliveira. There we go.
Oh, all right. Yeah, the guy that used to coach Porto. I wouldn't mind him either.
So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, his brother. Well, I don't know if he still does, but he used to have a part with the Sport TV. He was like a part owner or
Yeah, he
something.
does. He's like the owner of the whole thing.
What is it? Control Invest or something like
So,
that. Sport Invest, something like that.
I don't know, to be
But
honest.
honestly, I wouldn't mind him being president either. I want somebody to run the club who loves the club. Peter the coach is already getting old. He has heart issues. His son is robbing us blind. He's surrounding himself with the wrong people, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? So,
They
um,
need a clean slate. Just let everybody go.
yeah, it's time to clean house. And it's a scary thought because we had a winning tradition for the past 30 years, and who knows, like what's gonna come in the next couple of years after Pinto da Costa leaves. We're gonna have to have somebody
It's
who's
got,
gonna.
but you're gonna have to go through that slump. But you should have went through that slump after like losing last year. Now you might just be like 5 years up into the Costa where he don't win a title, and then you make the switch and you keep not winning. It's gonna take a while to get back into pace.
But the thing is, like, he said no to Marco Silva for like 3 years, and he went with somebody like Lopetegui.
Yeah.
Lopetegui, like I was like, who was Lopetegui? When I saw, I was like, huh? I was like, what the hell's this? Porto B or Porto the main squad?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like,
It's
oh god.
yeah.
So I
It's
mean,
stupid.
I don't know whose idea he was. I don't know who
It was
wanted
Pinto
him.
Costa like for sure, or some like
Oh
his
my
son.
god.
It was probably like his son saying, "Hey, I'm gonna get like a decent amount of money from commissions if you sign this guy." So just sign him.
Yeah.
So who
So
knows?
what does Sam think?
I was gonna ask you a question actually. Do you think Porto can still win the league?
If Porto can win the league?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's still within reach. I mean, it's getting tough dropping point. I mean, either way you look at it, um, it was going to be like a 2 game like differential. You know what I mean? Being 4 points back, being 6 points back, it's the same thing. We gotta
Yeah,
kind of like
it's not as much of the same thing. Now
hold on.
Benfica got a
Let me
bigger
finish.
margin. Okay.
I get that, but if we go to Estadio Delusion, we win. It doesn't matter the goal difference, right? We win on a head to head. We would pass you guys up, correct?
If you went to those in one, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like if Benfica loses another game and we win on the same weekend, like say Benfica loses to Braga and Porto wins the same weekend, and it's the same thing back and forth until Porto plays Benfica at the Luge, and we end up winning and we're tied on points. We passed you guys up because we are
Yeah,
ahead
but
on head to head.
the thing is that you can't drop any more points than you already did again.
No, I
What
get
makes
that, but I'm
you
making an
what
example.
makes you think that you could win like all the other 17 games, or in this case 18 games left, you know? Yeah,
It's
I
just
get
still
your
early.
point. Your idea is correct, but you have to win 18 games in a row basically.
But like, yeah, basically, but not necessarily because the others are gonna slip up. Possibly, I don't know.
No,
Anything can happen.
exactly. You gotta think for yourself. And even if you win those 18 games, nothing makes you sure. It's not
That
guaranteed
we're
that
gonna
you'll
win.
win the title. So there you go. You're not, bossing your own future. Basically, you're not the owner of your own future.
Yeah,
You do.
it's like 50 Cent said, "Get rich or die trying." Pretty much the same thing. You gotta
uh,
try. I mean, but it's extremely difficult. If we lose any more points, if we drop any more points, and if you could go like 8 points ahead, that's like a automatic. Well, even 7 points. That's an automatic 3 game differential. It's gonna be
yeah.
almost impossible to overturn that. I mean, Benfica did it last year, but I mean, I don't see
It was
it.
so weird. It was like a whole different league. It was a
That was a
weird year.
miracle.
Yeah, it was a miracle. Guys, we'll question directed to both of you. Did you know that Porto and Sporting play in like 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, how you feeling?
not confident at all.
I'm feeling confident because we're at home.
I'm feeling like it's gonna be like a still like 0-0 draw where no team
That's
gets
what you
like
said
no
last time.
chances at all. I mean, it could happen though. Like no team is really creating many chances to score.
True.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on what's at stake. Somebody's gonna win that game. I don't think it's gonna end in a draw.
Yeah, maybe. I think
I'd
it'd
be
be a
very
win.
happy with a draw.
It's not going to finish with a draw.
I don't think so. I think Porto might get the edge. Maybe like 1-0 or 2-0,
Nah,
maybe.
Sporting gets the edge with me again. I'm just trusting JJ over anybody else.
Oh my god, screw you.
I know, like I can see you winning that game if you play like 90 minutes, like you did the first 20 at Yellow. If not, then you're done for.
We just got to come out and play like we did against Benfica. That's what we need
You
to
need
do.
to cope. Yeah, you need to. If you want to win the league, you got to play those 18 games like you're playing Benfica every single week. And don't take this totally the wrong way because you guys always put in a bigger effort when you're playing Benfica. So you got to imagine that all those 18 teams that you're going to play are Benfica, and that's the only way that you have a chance of winning the
It
title.
seems that way, but that's just because we're better than you guys.
I'm just saying it's a fact, though. Sam can agree with me that Porto's performances just go like sort of okay, and then they play Benfica, great performance, and then they go back to being okay to bad performances. You haven't had
It's
like
not
a
just
big game.
Porto. I think we do the same. We try a lot harder against Benfica than we do against other teams.
True, true. I think that's where Benfica's gotten the edge right now. Is that they've been just better basically.
And we dropped points against Pashfeda, and we were missing a couple of key players, Brahimi.
But Brahimi was, you
He was a
couldn't do
difference
anything
maker
about
though.
that. Yeah,
As
but
much
you
as I
can't.
wanted him gone
Yeah,
before,
but
but
you can't do anything about that though. You knew that he was gonna go.
I
So
know. And Kelvin was still injured.
I think Calvin's gonna get called up. By the way,
I think so. I want to see him play. I think he could be the one that can help turn us around.
I
Honestly,
actually want to see him play because I'm gonna use this reference real quick. And Kevin, this is like American football thing where I don't know if you remember, but when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, right? The Malcolm Butler play.
Oh, that one. Okay, because we
Yeah,
won a couple. I was just gonna ask you which one it was.
he makes the pick, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you win the game. After that, though, he became a great player, and it makes you think, okay, this guy wasn't just a one thing, like one time only, and now he's forgotten. You got to see if Calvin is that player. He won you the league. Let's see if he can stay consistent and become a great player.
Yeah, and Malcolm Butler has been great for the Patriots, by the way. After that,
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, you need to see if Calvin can be like Malcolm Butler and not just produce one time only. That's what I was trying to get at.
and I know this is totally irrelevant to Portuguese footy, but
Oh God.
no, but I'm saying like you must have watched that game. Just real quick, you must have watched that
Oh,
game with the Patriots and the Seahawks. There
what?
was a
Yeah.
catch. Oh, who caught the ball? But like Butler missed it. Like he did everything he could to try to stop the ball from getting to the receiver,
Uh,
and it was like a big gain. And then he came up at the end with a big pick, and he was crying. It was great. But
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's the other football.
Yeah. It was basically, I brought this up because a lot of Seahawks fans were saying we're glad that he turned into a big player, meaning that he didn't just disappear, like he made a great play against us, but he's still doing great, basically. Yeah, and you need to do that with Calvin, basically. You need to see if he's
And
going to be a great player. Yeah.
and I agree. And that season, like I'm surprised we didn't gamble with him more because he saved us against Braga,
And then
saved us
against
against
Benfica.
Benfica.
And I don't get
Like, what more
it
do you
either.
need?
I don't get
It's
it
like, what more
either.
do you need that this kid was a prospect? And the next
Yeah.
season, they're like, you can go out on loan. And he
Yeah.
kind of
It
like just
doesn't.
disappeared.
Yeah.
It
Which is
just wasn't fair to
stupid.
me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But now is his chance to shine because he's going to get his
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. Is there anything else who do you play next week, by the way? Because I'm completely off.
We're at home to Moreirense on Sunday.
Okay. You expecting a win? I'm guessing.
Yeah, if Makaritse plays on his head again. Hopefully nobody bumps into
All
Refs or
right,
anything.
all right. I wanna bring that up real quick though. You kept the same opinion, but Sam, you kind of changed yours, haven't you?
Yeah. So on that clip you showed me, it does look like Danilo. I don't think he deliberately tried to make the ref bump into him. I think he thought the ref would stop and like maybe turn around and talk to him. But obviously it didn't happen that way. So
He definitely put himself on the line for that yellow card, basically.
I still don't think he should have been sent off for it. But
no, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, but sorry, Kevin. I just brought that up because he felt like. But let's move on. I was just trying to.
Yeah, but you gotta give him the benefit though. The referee's not looking, and he's gonna assume that it was purpose. You gotta give him the benefit of the doubt and turn around and be like, "I'm sorry."
I'm staying quiet because I don't think my opinion changed all that much. I think that if you guys haven't seen the play, do so. The replay is quite good from the stands. It shows basically what Daniel does, and then you can judge for yourself if you think it was a good or bad
Yeah, it shows him
decision.
running up and backing up again, so it doesn't really show anything. Not to me, at least.
Okay,
I'm
it's not
sticking
to
with what
you.
I said.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's absolutely it's okay. Like no big deal. Before you go, because you're gonna have to go in like 5 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop you the question that a friend of mine asked. Seahawks fan, by the way. And he asked, and Evan asked, by the way, at tabler.com. Yeah. He asked, I want your thoughts on Ronaldo winning the FIFA Player of the Year trophy over Messi.
I think it's well deserved. It was Ronaldo's year. He's done something that neither him or Messi have ever done, and that was win an international competition with the national team. So he was the first to do it over Messi. So he deserves it. Ronaldo was a great team captain. He wasn't there for us in the final really because he came off injured, as we all know, but he was there lifting the team, and that's what a true captain is. That's what a great player is. You lift your team up when they think they're down, and he got them to get a little bit of confidence, hang in there, which they ended up getting the goal. from Eder out of all people. Still can't believe it. But he was, and he gave Eder the confidence. He said, if you're gonna shoot, you're gonna score. So I some years Messi's better than Ronaldo, and other years Ronaldo's better than Messi. Everybody is a fanboy of whoever it is, respectively, and they're always gonna say their own opinion. But I've always said when Messi's better than Ronaldo, Messi's better than Ronaldo, and vice versa. So I think it was well deserved for Ronaldo, especially with the year that he had. Um, so I mean, you can't really argue with Ronaldo winning.
Yeah. We had this discussion in the beginning of the podcast. It was probably like episode number 2, number 3, where somebody asked who was the best player in the world, and I said Ronaldo. And I think you and Alex said Messi. And then a couple weeks later, after we won the Euros, both of you said, "Nah, it's Ronaldo because he did what Messi couldn't do, which was win an
Exactly.
international trophy with his national team, and especially with a way lesser team than what Messi has. Messi has Higuain, Dybala, Di Maria, Enzo Perez at one point was a great player for them as well. The whole midfield is amazing. So uh, I think there's like no complaints because Ronaldo did win pretty much everything he could have won.
But to be fair though, to Messi, when me and Alex did say that though, I believe I did say Messi at the time.
Yeah, you did.
That was
Exactly.
like beginning of the year last
Yeah,
year, like a couple of
yeah,
months after.
yeah.
So we're
No, I
going by the
know,
previous season.
I know. I was just pointing out that winning an international trophy makes a big
Makes
difference,
a big
though.
difference. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like some years, one will be better than the other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's just the whole point. So, but
yeah,
I mean, great for Ronaldo. I'm very happy for him. Very proud.
yeah. If you want to go, by the way, this would be the time if you do want to go.
Nope. I want to do my rundown first, then I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Let's start with Segunda Liga. Oh boy,
Top
it
five out
breaks
of
my heart.
five.
Hold on. Let me do the. I want to do the scores. I have time to do the rundown, so I'm not gonna rush it. I have a few
I know,
minutes.
I know.
All
I'm
right.
just saying.
Sporting de Covilhã 1, Friamundo 1, Penafiel 4, Olhanense 0, Sporting B 1, Braga B 2, Vizela 1, Varzim 2, Portimonense 1, Santa Clara 0, Cove de Piedade 1, Académico 2, Porto B 2, Académico 1. Oh god, I hate when this freaking screen times out, and it does it every time to me. Uh, Gotta leave off at Porto B 2, Académico 1, FAF 1, Aves 2, União da Madeira 2, Leixões 0, Famalicão 1, Gil Vicente 0, Benfica B 3, Guimarães B 2. Damn, even the B team they won. The standings, Portimonense in first with 52 points. Desportivas Aves is in second with 48. Third place, Santa Clara with 35. Fourth place, Académica with 33. And fifth place is Cove de Piedade with 32. And the bottom five is Académico de Viseu in 18th with 22, along with Fafa 19 with 22 points. Friamund is 20th with 19 points. Leixões 21st with 17. And definitely getting relegated is Leones in 22nd with 13 points. So, I mean, you can't really argue that. The next jornada for this weekend, Académica Olhanense, Sporting de Covilhão Penafiel, Cove de Piedade Benfica B, Porto B, Aves, hopefully Porto B can steal some points there. Famalicão, Leixões, União da Madeira Friamundo, Sporting B,
Yeah.
FAF, Braga B, Varzim, Gil Vicente, and Guimarães B versus Santa Clara. Now for the first division, Nacional 0, Braga 0, Estoril 0, Marítimo 1, Guimarães 0, Benfica 2. Damn, that's crazy. They won 2-0 both games.
Yeah.
Paços Ferreira 0, Porto 0, Rio Ave 2, Chaves 2. Shout out to Chaves World, Group Chief Chaves World. What's his name again, Peter?
Brandon, I think.
Brandon, yes. Shout out to him. He does a great job with that account. Tondela 1, Aroca 2, Boa Vista 1, Setúbal 0, Sporting 2, Feirense 1.
Hey! You're back in the water, mate.
Oh God, Boa Vista 1, Setúbal 0, Sporting 2, Feirense 1, Moreirense 1, Belenenses 0. Standings: Benfica in first with 41 points. Second place, Porto with 35. Third place, we have a tie with Braga and Sporting with 33. Guimarães in fifth with 30. Sixth place, Rio Ave with 24. Tied for seventh is Shavja Maritimo with 23. Tied for ninth is Boa Vista and Daroca with 20. 11th place, Stubble with 19. Tied for 12th is Belenenses and Paços Ferreira with 17 points. 14th place is Estoril with 15 points. 15th place, we have a tie with Moreirense and Feirense with 14 points each. And Nacional 17th with 12 points. And last place, Tondela with 10. The next jornada for this weekend, Aroca Estoril, Vitória de Setúbal Nacional, Benfica versus Boa Vista. They play early. That's 11 a.m. Eastern
in
time.
Portugal.
Yeah, so 11 a.m. Eastern time on the 14th, which is Saturday. After that, it's Chaves versus Sporting at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Feirense, Guimarães, Marítimo, Paços Ferreira. Sunday, we have Porto versus Moreirense at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have Belenenses, Rio Ave, and Braga, Tondela.
All right. You want to do nothing else, right? You did everything, right?
Yep, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
All right. So, if there's anything else you want to say?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have been recommending us to go on iTunes. I will be working on that this weekend because I know that it's hard for people to try to listen on YouTube if they don't have YouTube Red, especially because you have to actually watch the video if you don't have YouTube Red. So this weekend I'm gonna see, fingers crossed. Hopefully I can get it up and running. So keep an eye out for that. We will tweet it if we do have any more information if we get that up and running. So just keep an eye out.
If not, worst case scenario, we're gonna try and get it on Stitcher because Stitcher Radio is basically the same thing as podcasts, iTunes podcasts, basically.
Yeah. But for now, I want to try to do iTunes first, and then if I can, if everybody wants to, also we can try to do Stitcher and see what happens.
Yeah. So keep an eye out to that, and thank you, Kevin, for working on that. See you, boy.
All right, take it easy, guys. Everybody enjoy the rest of the show.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. This one should be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill part, because there isn't really a lot we can talk about the game. At least Sporting beat Feirense 2-1, past those with a double. 11 goals, right?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, so Betwin goal, I believe his last start. Gaio, Pauliveira, Coates, and Bruno Cesar. A little bit weird to see Pauliveira on the lineup there. Gelson and Campo on the wings, William and Adrian in the midfield, Alan Ruiz and Basilos up front. Pointing out that Adrian did suffer an injury. Was it like a cervical trauma, whatever it was?
Something like that, yeah.
I have no idea how long he's going to be out, but I assume it's going to be a bit. If not, I haven't. He just got major lucky if he doesn't like get at least like 1 month off for sure.
Yeah. And we'll also be super lucky.
Yeah, but especially him because his health is like,
yeah,
you know, the big thing here. Everybody was like, is like Bruno Carvalho this, Bruno Carvalho that, but it was nice to see him in the ambulance next to Adrian Silva.
Yeah, I agree.
It shows that he cares a lot as well. So football does have that human part to it. So I want your thoughts on the game and your thoughts on Baz, those first 6 months in Portugal.
So I'll answer the first question saying that I thought we played a decent game. It was a better performance than we've seen from us in a long time. We were good to go up 2 goals in the first half. You know, shout out to Sergio for saying my coverage was almost Kevin-like with the reactions on the podcast Twitter account. And but you know, like I said to him, it's not often we score more than 1 goal and win the game. So I was bit overexcited there.
Ecstatic.
And Bastos played really well, and also a surprise player to me, Alan Ruiz, I thought played really well. That assist he got on Bastos' second goal was a world class pass. I must admit, even though I've been very, very critical of him, that was a really good pass. And I think someone that needs to be dropped from this team is Brian Ruiz. I don't think he was dropped for this game.
Actually, do you think he could be sold? Like, would you have him get sold this January transfer window, or
that's a hard
he's
one
not
for me.
he's not adding all that much, and
Yeah,
you could get some extra bucks for him. So
because I actually really like Brian Ruiz as a player. He might not come up with the end product, but he always is one of the hardest working in the team. Was a pivotal part of our season last year as well. Apart from obviously that open goal against Benfica. To be fair, in that season, he was one of the best wingers in the left midfielders in the league, and he's very versatile as well. He can play left midfielder, attacking midfielder. Sometimes even he can fill in as a striker. So maybe see him go this season. Like, I would be sad because he's one of my favorite players in the work rate department. But if we can find a better replacement for it, and then I'll be all ears to selling him, and depending on how much money we got as well.
Because he's old. He's like 31, 32.
31, 32, yeah.
So if you can sell him, and then maybe not even sign someone, maybe recall someone from loan, like Yuri Mtage or something. Start to give him some reps.
Maybe. That is another option as well. So yeah, and then Firenze scored a goal, which I thought was really, really could have been avoided. There you go. It was just really sloppy defending, and I thought Beto as well. Some of the things he did in that game, I'm not sure if you saw it at one point. He tried to do a goal click, and he didn't even clear it past the first line of defense.
I saw that. I was like, "Oh, Lee!"
Went straight to the Firenze player. They were lucky not to equalise. I was nervous then, but Beto obviously he's not the best goalkeeper in Portugal. Rui Patricio obviously has been out. We're not sure for how much longer, but hopefully he can be back before the Porto game.
Back. I heard that he's back for Chaves, but
oh, is he?
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's what it's saying on the news. So
okay, and also you mentioned Paulo Oliveira. I was really happy that he got his chance in the team.
I wasn't saying like negatively. I just wouldn't expect to see him.
I didn't expect him either, and that actually made me quite happy to see him in the lineup because he's a decent centre back. I do prefer him over Douglas at the moment as well, and so does my dad as well, who thinks Douglas is awful. I just put that out there now.
Yeah, I think it's just another weird transfer because I don't feel like you really needed him all that much, and I feel like Paulo Oliveira is being incredibly underused, and I really liked him at Guimarães.
Even in his first season back at Sporting, he was a very good player, but in all fairness to him, it's hard to pick up that season because of the centre back partnership.
But he shouldn't even have been dropped for Ruben Smith, in my opinion, in the first place. Like, if he kept playing with JJ his second season, I don't think he would have ever been dropped. I know that he got injured, but after his injury, I would just slap him back into the lineup because all he had was that other Naldo. All he had was Naldo and Quatch or something like that. So
yeah, like I said in the first season as well, when Oliveira came back, it was hard to be like, oh, he's so good, because the other centre backs he paired him up with were not very good. I'm not sure if you remember Naby Sarr, Mauricio, Tobias Figueiredo, and Tobias was all right, to be fair, but Mauricio and Naby Sarr were just...
I will never forget that goal against Maribor.
Yeah, either will I. And Mauricio... And then I don't know how he got moved to Lazio. Fair play
thank
to him.
God, though. For you guys.
Thank God. Yeah. And like I said, really happy to see Paulo Oliveira in the team. And to Adrian as well, hope he gets well soon. Speedy recovery.
Let's talk Elias, though.
Oh, okay. So the last couple of games, the last two, I'd say, maybe including the half he came on, he played okay. It wasn't amazing. And Portugal, the Twitter account, he tweeted literally, I think it was 1 minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds. He was like, "Oh, Elias is playing really well today." 2 seconds later, he's a red card.
And he was a second bookable offense as well. So like,
Yeah, he
not really.
was stupid going for that tackle though. There was no need for it in my opinion. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's great fortune telling over there.
You definitely need you need someone to step up. And if Adrian's not fit, like I don't know, playing Brian Ruiz is like the best option there, and I don't see JJ going William and pitying it. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That's definitely an issue, and something that JJ never had at Benfica.
I
So
think the
it's
reason
weird.
why we're struggling as well is that JJ hasn't picked the starting 11. You see, every game we have, he changes something. It will
Yeah.
either be Joel Campbell doesn't play, or Brian Ruiz doesn't play, or sometimes Bastos doesn't play. I think that he needs to find that starting 11 and just stick to it. Obviously, it's harder with injuries to Patricio and Semedo, but he
You
just
should
needs.
have the core by now.
We should have the core by, I don't know, maybe November or
Yeah.
even the start of December. I think it's a bit too late now. But it's something I've been thinking about as well. That's probably one of our main reasons, because I get trying to give players minutes to improve their confidence, like Andre and Castaños. But if they're not performing, stop bringing them on as sub or stop playing them. And also, before I finish on that,
Yeah.
Spalvis got loaned out to Belenenses, and that is one of the worst decisions we've had this season. I know he's not match fit. I know he hasn't played a single game in the league. But we need striking options for Bastos if he gets injured. Because if he gets injured, who goes up front?
Andre
scored
Castaños.
one goal. Castaños has scored no goals in about a year and a bit of football. So, a bad decision. I think I'm not sure what you feel about this.
No, I absolutely agree. When you told me that, I even made the tweet, which I thought was quite appropriate, which was get injured in preseason, is out for 6 months, gets back to being fit, loaned out. It makes no sense that whole trajectory they had with going with him, because I mean you still don't know what you have on your strikers, or I mean maybe you do and they're just so bad that you would have taken another option. He didn't impress me like all that much in preseason, but all he played was like 60, 70 minutes once, I think, like tops. So I definitely think that's stupid because you don't really know what you got. And to me, like the best partner for Bastos is Alan Ruiz, and even Alan Ruiz isn't performing all that well.
Yeah, but to maybe giving Jesus the benefit of the doubt, maybe Spalvis has been really bad in training. But
how can you? But
how can
he's
Spalvis be worse than Castaños in training?
and he can't be all
is
that
awful.
bad. He's been out for like 6 whole months. He maybe started practicing like 3 weeks ago.
True, that's I think the main reason we loaned him out to get match fit. But couldn't we have done that with the B team? Put him in the B team for a couple of games.
I mean, Feza played in the B team for Benfica. Jardel played in the B team for Benfica. Ederson played in the B team for Benfica. Lindelof played in the B team for Benfica. A lot of players that are now like crucial first team players, or were at one point, went through Benfica's B team at the point. Which thanks for pointing that out on Sporting's B team. They could have used them there and then bring him up like they did last year. I don't know if you remember Benfica when Gedge starting getting dropped a lot. He wasn't getting to the lineup, so he started like 4 or 5 straight games for the B team, and that right there gives him the chance to stay match fit. And whenever he's needed to be called up, he's ready.
Yeah, it's the same with Mateus Pereira as well. Obviously, he's not he's not played for us a lot, but I'm glad we didn't loan him out because I still think he's a good player. We could use him. And, he obviously last season there was a lot of hype around him. This year, not so much. So, yeah, back onto Spalvis anyway. Again, like I said, really bad decision.
Yeah.
Maybe willing to give George the benefit of the doubt because he didn't play when training. But that B team was the best option to do if he wasn't match fit.
Yeah. What do you think about the controversy now that Stubble isn't letting Gold and Geraldo go?
I think the whole thing, even on Sporting's part, was really, really childish. Like, I mean, it's not Cheval's fault that the ref made a bad call. And even if you don't think it's a bad call, that's the way I saw it. That's the way a lot of other
Yeah.
people saw it as well.
No, it's not Stubble's fault that they play to win. Basically, they play their game though. Like they always had their chances. I feel like it's a bit unfair. Yeah, like it's not their fault, like you were saying.
Yeah, but the reason my dad thinks that they called them back was because in the pre-match interviews the post-match interviews, sorry, after the game,
Yeah.
Dino was the one who went down. He said, "Oh, I just felt something on my back and went down," which is fair enough. That's what football is these days.
Which I see, like it's undeniable whether you think it's a penalty or not. It's undeniable that Douglas' hands are on his back. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's something like the dude's can't lie. He can't lie when he says that he was touched. So it's not like it's
yeah.
his fault for
But
saying that.
I wouldn't say respect him, but obviously that's what happens in football. Like you feel contact, you go down. But then the manager said afterwards that it was a clear penalty every day. I would have given it VAR, so blah blah blah. And apparently that's why he anointed to George Jesus and Bruno Cavallo.
That's dumb though. Like in
I
my
agree.
opinion, actually, when a player is running and or he's in position to shoot and he feels a slight touch, that might offset him to a point where it could be up. But like, I think they're like way worse calls than that one to make players get recalled when the club has like no fault at that. Like, I don't know. Like if somebody said if it was Jonas, André Silva, or Bas Dost, like getting fouled, probably it wouldn't be a big deal. Nobody would have said anything.
Yeah.
But when it's a stable player, it's a whole different deal. Like, so it's not their fault, and I think it's stupid. And I think like Stubble now is trying to fight back and trying to keep the players till the end of the season because. What I saw, and this was only on the cover, so I can't be like 100% sure because I didn't look up into it. But the teams both need to agree on rescinding the contract, and if one team doesn't agree, then they basically stay, I believe.
Yeah, and I was going to say I feel really sorry for Ryan Goulden and Geraldez because I think players' development should come first, or between these arguments because Gould was just starting to find his foot in it. To Jabal, and Gould is supposed to be like the next Messi, whatever, Scottish Messi, whatever. And Geraldez has obviously been a consistent player for the last couple of years of the teams he's gone out on loan with. So I feel really sorry for them that they didn't get the chance to stay and that they're in the midst of this controversy. They can't play because these two teams are just having a needless fight, really.
Yeah, it's stupid and childish, as you've said. But on the bright side, they might be getting João Carvalho on loan from Benfica B, and he had a great goal just this past weekend. Maybe something good will come out of that for Stubble. But I think it's worse. It's not even like bad for Stubble, like you've said. It's just bad for the players.
I'm not sure if you saw this also. Jabbar came out and said that they helped with the progression of Semedo, João Mario, and I think it was Adriano. It might have been someone else.
They did.
And then they said, "No more. We're not having any more contact with
Sporting players. Yeah, like at least like I would have said with Bruno Carvalho. That's what I said to my dad. Like it's like if he stays president, we're not making any deals with them. That's what I told my dad. What the Stubble should do.
Yeah, and to respect Chabal, they did do that. They made Semedo into a quality centre-back. Because I remember we brought him back last year in January. Joel Mario owes his progression to them a lot as well. So yeah, it's a stupid thing, stupid argument in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's just something we would like to see gone from football. It doesn't have any space in football. These kinds of things. Okay, let me just quickly check. There's like nothing that I wrote down. Yeah, because you didn't say that there was anything new. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, I've just got some things written down here on my notes. So first, I've already talked about the Spurs to Benelens, and there is just some transfer rumours as well, and some confirmed. So obviously, Joel Perry talked about last week going to Trabzonspor. Wish him all the best in his career. He was a good player back when he first started out for Sporting. He sort of declined when he came back, but no disrespect to him, he's still a good footballer. So I wish him all the best in that as well. Scalotto signed a new contract this week.
Right. Forgot about that.
So yeah, obviously you showed me on Twitter, and I wasn't very happy. Well, not very happy, but I just couldn't care.
Eh.
Really, is what I'm trying to
Just
say.
like, what do you think about this shrug?
Yeah.
Basically,
But like I said, did better than as a guy. That maybe we'll sign a new right back. Like I said last time, get someone up from the B team, or Gerald Ayres could come back. I don't know. And then there's two more transfer rumors I've got written down here. Is Andre to Sport Recife, I believe.
yeah, Recife, yeah, Sport
Yeah.
Recife, yeah.
They've Sport Recife has already come out. The president has said that they said no to a loan deal to them, so that's not going to happen. And then the last room I have is here as well is William Carvalho to West Brom for 35
Again?
million, yeah, which was rejected by Sporting as well. So those are the transfer and / contract signings that have been happening
Which,
this
by the
week.
way, I would have accepted if it's in the summer. No brainer.
Yeah, I think the rumor was we had like 3 bids for William Carvalho, one from Arsenal, one from West Brom. What was the other one? I don't know where the other one was from. It might have been from like a foreign team. So yeah, I would have accepted that, to be fair, because I think for William, it's either this season he has to go in this summer if he wants to earn a lot of money and be a fantastic player in the Premier League or the Liga Serie A.
Decent.
Yeah, decent.
Decent player at best.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking with you, but in the summer, I think if it was in the summer, you'd accept that. I think January is a little bit, especially without Adrian Silva or with how bad the team's performing without him. I just wouldn't risk anything.
Yeah, and also I'm not sure if you'll agree with me on this point. When Sporting won the Euro, Portugal won the Euro. Sorry.
What are you saying?
I was gonna say
What are you trying to say?
when Portugal won the Euros, I thought Patricia was gone. I thought Adrian was gone. William, basically all the people that won the championship that played for Sporting, I thought they were all gone. And so they didn't go. I'm not sure if now I would prefer if I would prefer.
They should have all gone. Maybe
Yeah.
Patricio could have stayed, but they should have all gone. I think they're hurting your team now. Like the fact that Adrian Silva is so crucial to your team is bad.
Yeah, especially like with the release clause, I think as well. Literally, as soon as their team matches that, we can't say no. So literally, some random team from China can do that, and then he's gone. Or some English team, he's gone. So yeah, like I said, it's quite bad for us as well. I agree.
Yeah, because like you think in theory keeping all those players is good. You kept 3 out of the 4 basically. But Adrian Silva at this point might be hurting Sporting more than helping them because he's so crucial to them. It feels like it's weird because JJ, when he was at Benfica, he lost Ramirez, he had Javi Garcia, he lost Javi Garcia, he had Matic, he lost Matic, he had Feza or Samaris. When he lost, I don't know, Enzo Perez, Pizzi came in.
David Luiz as well.
Yeah, but I was thinking more like in the middle of the park,
midfield,
in the midfield, which I felt like he lost key players. And don't forget that he lost Javi Garcia on deadline day. And Matic came up and just stepped up. I don't see why Sporting is having that issue with Adrian Silva, because it was something that JJ managed to fight quite easily with Benfica. I mean, he won the league with Pizzi as a number 8.
Maybe because of Benfica have more money than us. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason as well.
No, it can't be just that.
No. I think the development centre as well for Sporting. I'm not sure if you noticed it recently, but all the players who are supposed to be labelled the next best thing or so good are attackers and wingers. Like no defenders, no midfielders. I think that's where we go wrong as well. Spending too much time on the attacking side. Maybe bringing it back and developing players from the midfield and the centre backs as well.
Yeah, I feel like Sporting's issue is very midfield based. It's very second striker based. I think you need to find a second striker that can do the job. I don't mean score goals because that's an extra, but creating that space, creating those opportunities, doing what Castaños did against Bologna regularly, which is pulling the defenders out of your main guy, is something that is crucial and needs to be done like every single week.
Yeah. And also the question you asked me at the start as well, the Bastos first 6 months in Portugal.
Yeah.
For me, I've been quite critical of him on his technical ability, but there's no denying that he is one of the most clinical players, clinical finishers in this league at the moment. So literally, yeah, come on, what you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I do have a little bit of a con on him.
Yeah, he's got no
Which,
technical ability. Is my con on
not
him?
just that. My con on him is that he seems to. I had the word for it, but it slipped my mind. Basically, when things aren't going his way, it feels like he gets easily frustrated.
Yeah, true. But
Like he's got a short temper. I don't know if you noticed it, but like he runs to the refs a little bit too much whenever things aren't going his way. Whenever he misses a
yeah,
goal, you see like his frustration starts to grow a little bit more, which
but
is something that
sometimes
never
that's
helps.
good for a player, but maybe not for Bastos. Then also, you were saying about that. I remember when JJ brought him off for Andre. Was it in the Champions League against Legia? Like we had to score. He
Mhm.
was you could see he was frustrated, a bit pissed off as well. So yeah, I do see that a lot with him. But like, I mean, that might give him fire to play better.
And it's not like the biggest issue, but it's why I think you need like a second reliable striker, because if Bastos is having a bad day, and especially you need someone that understands him and that like comes up next to him, like pats his back and goes like, "Mate, don't worry, you got another one," you know.
Yeah.
And when you're strikers, you're in the same position. It always helps, creating that empathy between both of them, which I think that Bastos might be lacking. So something to keep an eye out.
And to be fair to Bastos as well, I think he's played 11 games and scored 11 goals in the league. So there's no denying that he is clinical. But I just don't like having a striker that is, I wouldn't say lazy, but just doesn't try as hard. Like I remember Slimani always used to try and chase down the ball. He'd always make
No, he's a
runs.
different. Yeah, he's a different player. But what can you do? I mean, nobody's equal. Nobody's the same. So
True.
you just gotta accept what you got and embrace him, because he's like the best thing you have right now with Jelson.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
just gotta deal with it. That was it, right? I don't think there's anything else
I just wanted
important
to
to talk
offer
about.
my insight of the question you asked Kevin about the Messi and Ronaldo
I'll
thing.
go right
If you
ahead.
don't mind, I'll be
Yeah.
quick. I'm just saying that I thought Ronaldo was the best player this year, but I must say, I'm glad to have both players playing at the same time. It's one of those things that you can talk to your grandkids about, saying, "Oh, I watched Ronaldo and Messi play." Like how people, my dad speaks to me saying about some of the players like Inzaghi and Figo in his prime, yeah, Rui Costa in his
Costa.
prime, yeah. Fancy
Shalana
a
for my
pattern here.
dad. Like my
Yeah.
dad used to talk a lot about Shalana.
Yeah, we all talk about Messi and Ronaldo in the same light, so it's a good thing. But overall, Ronaldo had the better season, and for a player who people said who was past it, he won, what was it, 8 individual honors this year, or not individual honors, just honors in general this year. So pretty impressive for a player who has supposedly passed it. But like I said, I agree with Kevin. Some years Messi has been better, some years Ronaldo has been better, and I've always said that Messi has been better when he has. So yeah, that's just my insight
I'll
into
always be
that.
a Ronaldo fanboy because I don't like Argentinian players. I don't really. I
What
don't
about
really.
Salvio and
No,
Gaetan
I
and
like ours, but I don't. I don't know. Like I don't like Messi. I hate Aguero. I absolutely despise Aguero, and I don't know. I see a pattern with me not liking Argentinian players.
I don't like Aguero if it helps as well. So
Yeah, good.
he's a good footballer though, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to Benfica, and I'm gonna ask you a favor. If you can find somewhere the highlights for the second game, the Taça Liga game, because I do. If you can check that out, find that, check it out real quick while I'm talking about the first game, because
The video highlights or just highlights in general?
video highlights if you can.
Who did you play just before?
Guimarães, Vitória Guimarães nil, Benfica 2, but for the Taça da Liga, not the Campeonato one, because I got that one nailed down. It isn't that hard to talk about. So right, moving on now to Benfica. Obviously, they played Guimarães away from home. They won 2-0. Jonas Mitroglou, the connection going up again. Ederson was in goal. Nelson Semedo, Luizão Lindelof, and Andre Almeida across the back. Faze in the midfield with Pizzi, Salvio, and Sebi on the wings. Mitro and Jonas up top. Facer got injured. He's out for like 2 weeks minimum. He went in for a slide tackle, which was a tremendous, by the way. It was a goal scoring opportunity that he denied, but he pulled his thigh or something like that. He pulled a muscle, so he had to come off for Samaris, which we didn't really notice the difference, which is good and somewhat new and unexpected. But Samaris handled the job quite well. I thought that Jonas had another good game. Salvio surprisingly had a good game coming back from like being out for like a whole month and then starting against Guimarães and having a decent game like he did. Impressed me. Mitroglou again, clinical. Not much to say about that. Pizzi had an okay game. Didn't really show up too much, but I mean, Benfica really controlled this game. But Guimarães had always a couple of chances on the counter. There's like a great shot by Hernani where, again, I make my point. If Brahimi had a chance, I don't see why Hernani didn't have his. He's like much better than Varela, for example, so he should have gotten a chance at Sporting, at Porto.
I couldn't find any highlights, by the way. Literally, I searched it, and all I could find was some guy clickbaiting with Pez videos. So I clicked it, it's just a guy playing Pez.
Oh my god! I'll see if I can find anything.
Okay.
So, all right, what was? Oh, you're right. Hernani, is such a good player. He's very good. He was like the most important player for them. I thought that he's always a challenge to play against because he's pacey, he's skilled. I think he's an underrated player, and he's got his issues. Obviously, he's got his problems, but I think that he can definitely become a great player. Like I wanted him to when he was at Guimarães. So we gotta wait and see what happens with him. But I hope that he manages to have another good season.
I've just found the goals, by the way. I found it.
I found some highlight video, by the way. I posted up the link on the chat. But one thing that I can point out to Vitória is that he's taking a lot of time to make substitutions. I don't really get why that's happening, but it is what it is. Luizão, again, I'm not 100% sure on him because of the pace. The pace kills him a lot. I don't really want him to start at least next season. Definitely needs to be gone by then. And André Almeida has a decent game. I mean, he doesn't provide you much going forward, but he's solid defensively. Right, I'm gonna move on to the second game now. Did you find anything like what I told you?
Yeah.
The link that I showed you.
Yeah, I've just seen the goals pretty much. I'll click on that link as well. So I've seen the Guedes and Jonas goals. So
yeah, Ged's goal, by the way, not Ged's and Jonas.
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know where I got Jonas from. Yeah, so Ged's obviously the assist from Carrillo as well. So
it's quite good. But just let a little bit that I'll watch the highlights and I'll talk about the second game, and then you can just provide a little bit of opinion on Zivkovic. That's basically why I want you to watch the highlights, because he's going to have a couple passes, which I thought were key. But in 3 days, Benfica go to Guimarães twice and get a clean sweep, 2-0 again away from home. This time for the Taça da Liga, they only needed a draw to go through. They got all 3 points. Júlio César was a goal, for the first time since he got injured, like a month ago or something. He had like one save the whole game. This game was completely different from the weekend game, but I'll get into that. Nelson Semedo again played, and André Almeida, I think because Eliseu and Grimaldo being injured kind of hampers them, being what's the word? Being rested, basically. Lisandro and Jardel, so basically rotation on center backs. The midfield stayed the same with Samaris and Pizzi, but Carrillo and Zivkovic came in. Rafa and Gedge up front. First thoughts, boy, oh boy, how good Zivkovic is unbelievable. He is amazing. His passing is pinpoint. He had like a pass to Rafa where he completely blows it up. Like he should have scored, but he didn't. But that pass is just it was amazing. Like he puts it through two defenders, like incredibly easy. Like only so Rafa could reach it. Like nobody else could reach it but him, which is pretty amazing. Gedge again, like 2 shots, 2 goals, basically. He was very solid. I thought the Carrillo had a good game. Well, you know what that means. Get one of it.
Unfortunately,
Get one of it. What? Fucking hell. I was gonna make a reference, but completely screwed it up. It's gonna be a Wrestle Talk reference. Basically, it's like grab one of each animal and head for the border. The end is not. The end is not.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, but basically, Carrillo had a good game. I think that Zivkovic kind of helped him because Zivkovic is like Servi in a way that they both defend a lot. I feel like they're both technically sound, and they're very good defensively. So Carrillo had to step up his game, which he did. I thought that he played well. He's starting to show off a little bit more of what he could do, what he can do. He's like nowhere near what he used to do, but I feel like he's starting to get into his own groove. And I think that the locker room really helped him in the way that they're so united. And you could see like after the Gage goal, he just goes and points to Carrillo, basically saying that goal is yours, that you basically scored that with that assist. Lisandro and Jardel, very solid center backs. I mean, I expect Jardel to take over Lindelof if he goes to Man United, which seems unlikely, but I don't know. I mean, Mourinho can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, Mourinho is not the trustworthy person. So.
Exactly, he can say whatever he wants because I feel like that deal is still in the table. PC had
especially for the reason they called Joel Pereira back as well. So
yeah, recalling Joel was just like weird, and like not like he was playing. He's getting a lot of minutes, so I also think that is weird, and I think we're gonna end up seeing Lindelof go. But if we do, I mean, Jardel's a tremendous center back, so we don't really have any issues there. PZ was poor. I thought that he should have maybe gotten rested, and Brian was getting over Rui Vitória because he should have been like subbed off like 60 minutes in, and Horta didn't even manage to come on the pitch, which I thought was ridiculous and sad. I always hate seeing a player like wanting to get into the game and the ref just pulls for full time, and it's just like, oh, God, I didn't even get to get into the game, right? You know, it's just annoying. It's something I really don't like to see, but it is what it is. I thought Rafa needs to work on his finishing because he just can't finish for his sake. Like I don't know if he's like a Stein's brother or something, but he can't finish. The dude can't finish at all.
just like Castaños.
That's
and
what
Andre.
I said. I don't know if he's his brother or something. Maybe he's Castaño's brother. I don't know, man. He just can't finish. Once he does, though, he's world class. Because he's got the pace, he's got the skill, and he can provide the assists. Once he scores those one-on-ones, he's golden. He also was fouled for a penalty, which there's like no discussion about it. It was a penalty that Pizzi didn't manage to convert. Miguel Silva again, he's just a tremendous goalkeeper, dude. This guy's amazing. He had a great game once again. He denied Pizzi from the spot, and he kept Guimarães in the game. This game could have easily finished 4-5-0. So the dude is a tremendous goalkeeper, and I still don't understand why Douglas starts over him. And I was actually going to ask this question like when I was like yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. I was going to ask you both of you, but I'll ask you, Sam. What makes a coach choose an experienced goalkeeper that isn't better than your backup, and your backup has a much higher ceiling? Is it just the age experience thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, because in the game today, you obviously see a lot more of older goalkeepers start, even if they're not as good because of that. Not even if they're not as good, just because of the experience they have. And yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's just on terms with like for Julio Cesar, it's just that how well we know he can be, like at Inter Milan and maybe not a QPR, so Inter Milan pretty much when he won the Champions League. So. Yeah, so maybe that's why. But I think it's just down to experience.
Yeah, but it makes me question, like, though, if it's smart because he's got like such a higher ceiling than Douglas, which is being underused, and that might hurt him a little bit. But it is what it is, though. Like, it is what it is. Did you get to watch any, like, was that video that I sent you any helpful?
It was just the goals as well. So yeah,
Oh, god damn it! Like, I wanted you to see the Rafa play because Zivkovic's pass is just absolutely tremendous, and it's really annoying that it's not popping up anywhere. Like, what the hell is up with that? Like, normally they have like highlights like every single time, and now they don't. Which I think I found, by the way. Yes,
oh,
I think I
okay.
just found them. I think I just found them. Hold on, people, deal with this. We're almost at the end of the podcast, anyways. Just deal with it. Just stick for like 5 more minutes and stop complaining.
You're not the ones up at 11:41. You are still in the daytime for the majority of them.
By the way, all right, I sent you the link. Check it out real
Okay.
quick. I think they got highlights and extended highlights. Just try and open the highlights and see if it actually shows anything but the goals. Zivkovic's plays like right in the beginning, so you'll see it like it's 20 minutes in or something. All right, there's something that I wanted to discuss while we were trying to watch the video. Was that there was a release, like the Liga released what they thought about like some penalty calls or non-penalty calls, and both from the Sporting Benfica Sporting game, the Liga declared as they good decisions. The first one, they said that it wasn't a penalty like at all because it was just a simple motion of the arm. It wasn't at all. What was it like? It wasn't done on purpose, so there wasn't any foul play on that. And that the second one of Nelson Smith, they said that it was from a very difficult angle for the referee, so it's a good no call in their eyes because of that. And what do you think? Not really that much about the penalties because we already discussed that, but them starting to release these type of things. What do you think? Is that good?
It depends on like what the situation is as well. So obviously, if the referee makes a bad call and they say, "Oh, the referee made a bad call," that's
Which, by the way, they did, saying that there is a penalty in the Chaves Porto game. By the way,
okay. So for that instance, that's got to have an effect on the referee. He's gonna. So I feel like it could be more lenient now in the decisions he'll give, like when he saw someone go down, because he'll be like, "Oh, I don't want the league to speak out against me again." So for that, I think it's a mixed reaction from me really, because it's good that they're saying, "Oh, that they're praising some of the work of the referees, but at the same time they're also having a negative effect on them as well." So you know, mixed emotions.
yeah, I wanted to figure out what CA means because I'm trying to figure out because they say CA admits that there's a penalty in the Porto game. Okay. It's the council of the referees basically consider arbitragem. So basically, the refereeing board,
Oh,
basically.
okay, yeah.
Is that
What
what
do you
you
think
call
about
it?
it? Yeah, I'd call
I,
it that.
th- I think it's interesting. I think if they explain it from a ref's point of view, why he didn't call it or why he could have missed it or why it was a good decision, it only helps. I don't see it being negative because the clubs will maybe, hopefully, start understanding what should be called and what shouldn't be called, and to what point should they complain about it. Because it helps
Yeah.
them understand the game a little bit more. And for example, even the coach, the manager is like pre-game talking to the players and saying, "Look, this referee normally doesn't call this and this and this, but he normally calls that and that and that." It also helps them, I guess, like take advantage of it as well, because it's part of football. And if like
Yeah.
if the board starts saying like some calls why they don't call it and why they call it, it also helps exploit a little bit of the game, which is part of it. So it can't be too negative, just as long as they aren't being mean to the
Yeah. I
referees and
I
are
agree with that.
that they're explaining in like
A constructive way.
yeah, with positive, basically being positive about it. Which I'm just trying to read real quick about the. There you go. For example, there's one here that says that Porto claims that there's a penalty in the 104th minute. This is obviously in extra time, and that the board says that it's a difficult play, and it's acceptable. And they accept the decision of the ref for letting the play go on.
But if they also say it's like a maybe, so surely that means the referee didn't make the right call. If it maybe should have been a penalty, or maybe not should have been a penalty.
Which leaves that doubt, which is basically what you want. You want to
Yeah, but then what gets fixed if everyone was just saying it maybe should have been a penalty, maybe shouldn't?
It's just down to the referee. That's why you start figuring out what ref calls what, because everybody's different, and no matter how we want to put this, he's always open to interpretation. That's why, in my opinion, the video referee would not change a thing unless it's like an offside call, because the referee might look at the play, right? Like let's say the PZ one, right? Where he handballs and then the play goes on. Benfica scores a goal against Sporting.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say that Sporting like challenged that play, and the ref goes ahead and watches the replay. The linesman can be like, oh, that's a penalty, but the ref still goes, no, in my opinion, it didn't seem intentional, so the play stays. So even inside of that refereeing core, we can have different opinions. So that's why I also think that video ref is not really going to change things all that much.
But in a way, I'm gonna have to disagree with you that video referee, because there are some decisions that obviously that one is like 50-50 that it could have been given even if the referee saw it. But I know I'm going a bit farther back here. But remember against Schalke when Jonathan Silva headed the ball, gave a handball, and that knocked us out of the Champions League. There are some calls that are much more important than others as well.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that, for example, probably 90% of the plays are going to stay. And then,
just for the record as well, I don't want to see video referees in football, because the thing about football, some of the doubt and the refereeing calls is what makes football such an intense game as well. That the referee isn't always right and they can't see everything on the pitch.
Yeah.
So,
And me watching American football now as well, where they challenge plays, where there's booth reviews. And there's something that, I listen to it in English quite a lot because Sport TV doesn't have every single game. And what they say is that the refs are told, if you're in doubt, like if it's not 100% clear, you stay with the call that you made at the time. And that's normally true.
It's the same with the NBA as well. You see they have their video replay center. Like for some, it's mostly used for like technical fouls and stuff and flagrant fouls. But they have the same thing. If it's still not clear, or you don't think it will change the outcome of what happened, you should just stick with your first decision. Yeah,
so that's what happens, and if in those sports that's what happens, it won't change all that much in football. And the thing that makes football so good is that people are paying for a show, right? They're paying for for a good game, and if you're going to have a video referee, you don't know how long it's gonna take for them to review the plays. You don't know if the managers will be able to challenge calls. It will slow down the pace of the game a hell of a lot more. And if we are already complaining as a big team that there's time wasting, that it's terrible. Now imagine time wasting plus video referee.
True. Yeah, I'd agree actually.
Were the highlights any good? By the way, did they show anything else besides the goal? Or?
No, I literally tried to click on it and it literally just crashed my iPad every time I went to click on it, so it's not working.
Okay, that's whatever then. All right,
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it was a great play. So you just gotta trust me. All right, last fact though before we go, because my computer froze, so that's why I'm trying to make time so I can stop the broadcast. Tarapto went to Genoa. Now, how about that? How about that?
How about that? He's
Ugh.
actually going to get some starting time. And the thing is, as well, going with Diego Simeone's son's play, they both love a good party as well. Things could just
Ah.
get even more messy for Terrat.
And you know what's better? He said he's gonna have a press conference tomorrow. I can't wait to see what he says. Like when he joined Benfica, he was like, "All right, this is the team. Like I'm gonna give my all and all that." Well, right, but BS. And what's worse is that he comes to Genoa and he says, "I thank this team for giving me an opportunity." And a friend of mine just tweeted, "What about Benfica? They gave you a 5-year contract. Like, what
Yeah.
is that?
And also, I remember, was it the start of this year, or maybe it was the start of last year, that he came out in an interview in a newspaper and spoke bad against Benfica about
Totally about
Benfica.
Rui Vitória, yeah. Which I
Yeah,
also think that Rui Vitória has a little bit of is a fault a little bit, but Taarabt was a JJ signing that
yeah,
has been that was something that was asked of Rui Vitória, and he downplayed it, which was basically a question saying all the players that came into the club, did you agree with it? And he said the scouting department has been looking at those players a lot more than I have. That was all that he said, basically.
yeah. Even with what Terrat says, if at any team, if you play for them, the number one rule should be you don't speak bad about the team or about the manager, about the president.
Yeah,
You just have to keep, even if you do feel that way, just keep it to yourself. Really,
yeah.
is what I would say.
No, I agree. Um, I think that was it. I think I covered everything. I also wanted to talk about something Bruno Carvalho wise, but that led to like a 30-minute discussion with my dad. So I'm going to shorten it right now, just very quickly. What you think? Uh, Sum it up as best as you can, and if you want, we can discuss it next week.
Okay.
Bruno Carvalho is against the referees having a supervisor during like their games. Basically where they write the referee missed the call X, they did right when they yellow carded Y at the 55th minute. Basically, like they review the game and
Yeah.
then they give a grade based upon that.
Uh,
How do you feel about that? Do you think that he's right or do you think that he's wrong?
I think that it should be the managers and who decide that they have to give their report to the referee. But then obviously on the flip side of that, against Jabal, Bruno de Carvalho will be stupid and give them a 0 out of 10 because of that one call. So I don't know really.
My
It's a good
dad doesn't,
question.
but dad doesn't like it because there's friends, because you make friends
Yeah,
and they're
true.
gonna help each other. And I'm like, Dad, that is true, but we need somebody to supervise them. Because we just need to. I think, in my opinion, that we just need someone to be on top of them. Basically. He points out that they're friends, and I'm like, okay, but that's a flaw in the system. That's not like the system's fault. Like it's not. You know the having an observer that is wrong. It's the fact that they're friends and might change their grade, basically, which was a
Yeah.
long discussion. I can see his point of view. I wanted to bring this up. Don't let me forget about it because we'll bring it up next week because it'll be a little bit longer.
Okay. I'll try to remember also.
Dude, just come on, help me out here. You got your notes, just write it
I'll
down
I'll,
there.
I'll take a note. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be back next week, maybe with Brandon from Get the Shavs World. If you're not following him at GD Shavs World, uh, he might be on next week. We're not 100% sure. So he's still going to tell me what's going to happen. But anyway, we're going to be on Wednesday once again because Taça de Portugal games. Sporting play Chaves away from home, 10:30 on a Tuesday. That's local time, by the way. And Benfica play Leixões at home, 10:30, 8:30 on a Wednesday. So podcast should be around 10:30, which is 5:30, basically around that time. That's when the game ends.
Did you say Sporting play at 10:30?
No,
Was it?
8:30. Sorry.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
As if they play at 10:30. As if.
Because that'd be
Sorry. Yeah,
even less a stadium than what we had before.
both games. I'm sorry. Both games are at 8:30. Sporting is on the Tuesday. Benfica is on a Wednesday. So the podcast could be about 15 minutes late than it normally is. But we'll be back on Wednesday anyway. We'll see if we're going to have Brendan with us. But if not, it should be a great podcast anyway. JJ is not going to be on the bench for both of the Chaves games. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Benfica take on Boa Vista and Porto play at home against Moreirense. So that's what you guys have got looking forward to next week. See you.
Ciao.